Yeah, man. What's up, man? This is Sports State of Mind, episode 108. I am your host, Snipes KB, and today we are going to be talking about the AFC West. In this AFC West division, of course, there is a Super Bowl champ, two-time Super Bowl champs, well, three actually, two times within the last 4 years. Um, they went to Super Bowl three times today. The fan that is coming on, he is a Kansas City Chiefs fan. I know him since high school. Like to welcome to the podcast, Will. What's good, man?
What's going on, Dan? Appreciate that, brother. Glad to be
Man,
back on.
thank you, for coming on. Is that, uh, are you still popping champagne bottles, man?
Nah, I probably stopped popping them March. Bruh, it felt unreal, man.
Hmm.
Couldn't even, I still can't believe it, you know what I'm saying? So, like I was saying, everybody was hyping up the Eagles. And the Eagles is a good team. The Eagles is a great team. That defense, that offense, that's why I can't believe it, man. I mean, feels unreal, bro.
Yeah, it is. So, since this is episode 108, we like to at least name any athlete that has worn the number eight. Since you are the guest, I'm gonna let you go ahead first, and if you can name any athlete that has worn the number eight from any sport.
Absolutely. My favorite athlete right now, Lamar Jackson.
Hmm. That makes sense.
Uh, DMV legend. Like to shout out Ovechkin.
Oh, that's a good one.
Um, another athlete, and of course Kobe.
Oh yeah. Oh
Like,
snap. Oh snap. I would have.
of course Kobe.
He is not
Yeah.
on my list because I just assumed you would get it, but I forgot. Yeah, that is true. Kobe. That's true.
So, that's about it. Those three.
Okay. All right. So let me go down my list. I got some other people within the DMV as well. We got Cal Ripken Jr. from the Baltimore Orioles. I got
Oh
Michael
yeah.
Beasley when he played for the Minnesota Timberwolves, Miami Heat, Houston Rockets, and New York Knicks. Troy Aikman playing for the Dallas Cowboys. Latrell Sprewell when he played for the New York Knicks.
He was,
Um, J.R. Smith as well wore a number eight. Monte Ellis wore number eight. And for my Chicago Bulls, Zach Levine currently wears number eight for my Chicago Bulls. All right. So let's before we start talking about the AFC West, let's go ahead and talk about these sports highlights real quick. Brittany Grinder out for the rest of the season for mental health issues in the WNBA. The the Phoenix Mercury really aren't really doing too well this season. Honestly, just within the last 2 years, what Brittany Griner has actually had to go through is crazy, and it's just crazy how she is just was playing basketball, you know, after everything that happened to her as being in jail in Russia. LeBron James' son, Bronny James, had a cardiac arrest during a training at USC, his college. And of course, he went into the ER room and the hospital got the best treatment that he can. Currently, as we are recording, he is back home with his family. So we like to send our blessings to them. Trayvon Diggs got a 5-year, $97 million extension for the Dallas Cowboys, which is really good for him. You know, congratulations on that. Hopefully, he can continue to ball out. Jalen Ramsey got hurt in camp the other day with the Miami Dolphins. Don't really know how. I don't know the status right now, currently, as we are recording, but it does not look good for the Dolphins. Doesn't look good for these Cincinnati Bengals as well. Joe Burrow got a injury. I forgot exactly what it is for.
half injured.
Calf injury, and they possibly, I mean, early speculations are saying that he could return back between week 1 and 2 for the Bengals, and that could be very big for them, especially in the AFC early on with this tight schedule with the AFC. What is your thoughts on all of our sports highlights right now? You can pick any. You don't have to go through all of them.
Yeah, my biggest one is Jalen Ramsey. You know, I felt like he is that missing piece to that defense with X on the other side. And from what I heard, he won't be back until November. So
Hmm.
that could do some damage to that defense. And they just signed Eli Apple
Oh yeah,
yesterday,
that's right. That's right. That's right.
which is crazy. Tyreek and
Oh
Eli
yeah,
being on the
yeah,
same team.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to see what the Dolphins do, man.
Yeah, that whole AFC. I'm pretty sure we are going to be talking about that later. But let's go right into what we came here to talk about. We're talking about the AFC West. We like to give our congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs for winning this, once again winning the Super Bowl last year. I know you were hyped. Their record was 14-3. They were the number one rated offense in the league last year, number one in the league in passing. And this is a year after they traded Tariq Hill, or you guys traded him, right? Or you guys let him walk?
Yeah, we not traded Tyreek Hill.
Yeah,
Tyreek
yeah.
Hill.
Tyreek Hill. So this is this is the year after he left. And only thing I can really say about the Chiefs, they got Patrick Mahomes. Normally I have a long list of things and what to expect. You got Patrick Mahomes, anything's possible in my KG voice. So um, before we even start, man, let me bring out this timer real quick just to give you 60 seconds to talk your shit about your squad. You can say anything that you want and within uninterrupted. And let me get that stopwatch out. Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
All right, let's go.
So how about those Chiefs, man? How about them? I mean, it looks like the missing piece was Pat Mahomes all along. Even with Alex Smith, bro, we was a great team, pretty good team, but Mahomes is the missing piece. And now that we have him, I think we can get two more Super Bowls out of him. May not be this year, but I love my team, bro. I love my defense. People sleep on our defense so much, like it's crazy. Front seven to the secondary. I mean, our defense is young, flying around, and we got a young receiver core as well too. So I just be happy to see them every single year, bro. It's just exciting, very entertaining. I just love my team, so that's
All
about
right.
it.
All right. So that for sure was under the 1 minute, but you said what you had to say. One thing I forgot to mention, um, the Kansas City Chiefs defense last year was ranked number 11, low key, low key, almost a top 10 defense.
People sleeping,
Yeah.
man.
So so, which is so going in, going into this year, everything that you just said, that combination between Mahomes and Kelsey, yet alone is phenomenal. You don't need any type of running back there. You can have any type of running back there, and they can actually produce in that offense. You have Patrick Mahomes. I mean, I don't know what more else can I say. Like because
Yeah,
last year you can't tell me outside of Chiefs fans that people were picking the Chiefs to even make the Super Bowl. No one. I'm sorry. Like people had them going to the playoffs. People thought that it was the Chargers time, and Patrick, Patrick Mahomes just proved everyone wrong. Like so, at this point of time, uh, I don't have anything negative to say about the squad because everything moving forward is positive. To be honest with you.
thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So, any other thing you would like to say before we move on to the over and unders for the squad?
I just want to shout out Andy Reid. Andy Reid don't get enough credit. Those plays he draws up, I mean, they get executed very well. So I think I just want to say he's probably the best coach in the league right now, outside of Belichick. You know what I'm saying? So
No, no, no.
that's it.
I mean, currently, I know Belichick has those rings, but currently, I would put him over a Belichick because since Brady has left,
Right.
like I'm just saying, Andy Reid went to Super Bowl with Donathan, uh, uh,
Yep.
yeah, McNabb. So I'm not saying that Belichick isn't the best coach between the two, but in recent years, Andy Reid definitely took that from him.
Yeah.
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 So, anything else you want to say?
Yeah, man. I think our division is getting tougher and tougher, man. And with Justin Herbert new contract, I mean that says something about that team. So I think the Chargers are going to. They're going to only get better. That defense is pretty good as well too. The Broncos, new head coach Sean Payton, who has a proven record. And they got a pretty good defense themselves. They also got Frank Clark from us. Frank Clark is a great DN with Justin Simmons back there as well, still balling. So, I mean, the Raiders, and everybody knows the Raiders, Devontae, but I just think that division is only going to get stronger, man. And they're going to do everything they can to beat Pat Mahomes. So I feel like the whole AFC is doing everything they can to beat Pat Mahomes at this point because the AFC East with the Bills, Jets, and Dolphins, they're getting stronger as well too. So I mean, the whole AFC is so competitive right now, man. I can't wait to
AFC
see
North too. Don't forget about the North.
AFC. Yes. Yeah, the Browns with Deshaun Watson. Yeah, the whole AFC,
Sneaky team.
man.
A sneaky team.
Yeah.
So all right, so let's go ahead and close this for the Kansas City Chiefs. Right now, Vegas has you guys over and under at 11.5 games. So let me just read through this schedule, and then based off that, we can determine if it's a over 11.5 or under. So the first game Thursday is will be on September 8th, Thursday night game. You guys are at home versus the Detroit Lions. Week 2, you are at the Jacksonville Jaguars. That one is going to be a good game. Week 3, you're at home versus the Chicago Bears. Week 4, at the New York Jets. Week 5, at the Minnesota Vikings. Week 6, home versus the Denver Broncos. Week 7, home versus the LA Chargers. Week 8, at the Denver Broncos. And Week 9, home versus versus the Miami Dolphins. Ooh, that's a stretch right there. Then a Week 10, you have a bye week. Week 11, ooh, this is continues. Super Bowl rematch. This is a Monday night game versus the Philadelphia Eagles at home. Week 12, you are at Las Vegas Raiders. Week 13, you are at Green Bay Packers. Week 14, home versus the Bills. Week 15, at the New England Patriots. Week 16, home versus the Las Vegas Raiders. Week 17, home versus the Cincinnati Bengals. And week 18, you are at the LA Chargers. Woo! Y'all got a gauntlet schedule, boy. I was not
Schedule's,
expecting that.
schedule's scary, man.
Mm,
Yeah, I
what's your
mean,
thoughts on that?
I like the over 11 and a half. I mean, and no disrespect to the Bears. That's to me, they can't figure us out. Jaguars can't figure us out. So I mean, the toughest teams on there is definitely the Eagles, Dolphins, the Bills. You know, teams that we struggle with, like in the Bengals. But I
What
like the
about
over.
Jets?
You know, the, I think we can beat the Jets, man. I don't think that coach can figure. Coach, what's his name, Salah? I don't think he can figure this
Mm-hmm.
out. I mean, it's gonna be a good game, man. Like again, the AFC stack. We only play what 4 or 5 NFC teams. I think we can go over 11 and a half. I think we're going to be at 12, 13 wins for the
Yeah,
season.
yeah, yeah. I'm looking, with me looking at your schedule right now, I can definitely see that as well. I just feel like this gauntlet of games that you guys may have would be like the Jets, Vikings. I think Broncos are going to have a great year. I think that they are going to bounce back, and their defense is pretty good. The Chargers, then the Broncos again, then the Dolphins bye week, and then the Eagles. Like they ain't no. But once again, you guys got Patrick Mahomes, so anything is possible. You guys could literally like win all those games, which is crazy.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's a stretch right there for sure. You're right.
So, so when you say over 11.5, you said 12 or 13, or which one are
I,
you?
I like 12. I like 12 to
12?
be exact.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, all right. So let's go ahead and move to the LA Chargers. Last year, the LA Chargers finished the season at 10-7. They had a terrible way to lose in the playoffs last year to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Their offense last year was ranked ninth. Their defense, which was so highly last year, was ranked 20th. This year, going into this year, Justin Herbert got a 5-year, $262.5 million extension for the Chargers. They also got Kellen Moore, who was the offense coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys. He's been there for a long time. Pretty much within the last 2 seasons, the Dallas Cowboys offense was ranked number 1 and number 4. One big thing that is a major problem for me, they need to pay Austin Eckler, because he is the outside of. Actually, I mean, Herbert. To me, I feel like Herbert is overrated, but if it wasn't for Austin Eckler, crazy stat. Austin Eckler had 36 red zone touchdowns within the last 2 years.
What?
36. I don't know what I don't know what six I don't know what 6 times a 36 is. Let me go ahead and do it while while we're on here. 36 times 6. That's 216 points. And that's not even including the field goal, but 216 points in the red zone. So they need to pay the man there. I mean, that's a whole different thing. Last year, the Chargers was also 1-5 versus winning teams during the season. And once again, as always, they have a lot of injuries. Everyone's going to always rely on the injuries, but it's just like
Yeah.
it comes down to a point where it's just like those injuries can only you can only talk about those injuries for so long. So that is
Yeah.
my summary on the Chargers. What do you think about the Chargers going into this season?
Uh, so yeah, I thought about it. Um, I think it's about 10 wins, man. I can't see 11. I feel like it's gonna be around 10 again, under 11 for sure. Cause what's the line say? 10.5 or
Give
11 and
me
a
a
half?
second. The line says 9.5.
Oh, I got the over 9.5. Yeah,
Over
for
nine and a
sure.
half. Okay. Now,
Yeah, for
so let's
sure.
go ahead down their schedule. So week 1, they're home versus the Miami Dolphins. Week 2, they're at the Tennessee Titans. Week 3, they're at the Minnesota Vikings. Week 4, they're home versus the Raiders. Week 5 is a bye week. Week 6 is a Monday night versus the Dallas Cowboys. Week 7, they are at the Kansas City Chiefs. Week 8, they are home versus the Bears. The Bears. Week 9, they are at the New York Jets. Week 10, they are home versus the Lions. Week 11, they are at Green Bay. Week 12, they are home versus the Ravens. Week 13, they're at New England. Week 14, home versus the Broncos. Week 15, at the Raiders. Week 16, um, home versus the Bills. Week 17, at Denver. Week 18, home versus the Chiefs. Not an easy schedule, boy.
It's not. But like I said, they gotta prove something this year, man. This is the year they gotta really compete, man. They just paid that
Yeah,
man. How much
that
again?
I mean, I know him and his family's doing pretty good. $262.5 million.
Jeez. Yeah, he got a ball out.
Yeah, so
So
uh I don't know, man. Like Justin Herbert for me, I feel like he's I know he's supposed to be the next big thing. I just feel like he's just overrated to me, man. Like for him to be that highly like talked about and really hasn't accomplished nothing. I know injuries have played a factor, but 9.5 games. I feel like they can, but I won't be surprised if they go under. Kellen Moore for sure is going to open up that offense to the point in which that they're going to spread that ball around all the way. But then at the same time, their defense did not live up to expectations last year. So if the defense step it up, I can see them going over nine wins. possibly getting 11 if the defense can play a factor. Because if Bosa's healthy, I believe they still got Mac there as well, right? Uh,
They
Khalil
do.
Mack. So
No, yes, they do have him.
Khalil
They
Mack.
have him and Bosi on it.
So I
Yep.
mean, if both of them can,
And Derwin James.
yeah, James too, yeah. So if their nuclear players could, stay healthy in that offense, Kellen Moore had the Dallas Cowboys offense ranked number 1 and 4 the last 2 years. To step up, I can see over maybe even 11. So um, now let's go on to the Las Vegas Raiders last year. They had the season, they were 6-11. They were ranked number 12 when it came down to total offense. In defense, they were ranked number 28. Bye bye to Derek Carr. Hello to Jimmy G. Josh Jacobs has not got his extension at all. They need to pay the man as well. Raiders are 1-4 in double-digit games last year when they were leading at halftime. Crazy. No, when they were leading the double digits last season, not just by halftime, just in the game. And I honestly believe that Josh Daniels is the worst NFL coach today. Like like I would have got rid of Josh Daniels over than the Derek Carr. Devontae Adams, can he actually do it again as far as going over 1,000 yards? I think he went over 1,200 last year. What is your thoughts on the Raiders? I don't have anything positive to say.
And what's that line for them again?
7.5.
The over. I like the under. I like the under 7.5. The Raiders have to clean house, man. They just need to like get rid of Daniels. I think it was a good step getting rid of Carr. You just keep Adams, Jacobs, and Max Crosby. Everybody else just clean up, man. Like it's just I don't know, man. That is the worst team in our division for sure.
So let's,
But somehow they always keep it close with us, man. They always
yeah,
keep it close. I don't know
that
how,
is
but
true. Divisional matchup. So let's go over their, schedule. So week 1 at Broncos, week 2 at Bills, week 3 home versus Steelers, week 4 at the Chargers, week 5 home versus the Packers, week 6 home versus the Patriots, week 7 at the Bears, week 8 at the Lions, week 9 home versus the Giants, week 10 home versus the Jets, week 11 at the Dolphins, week 12 home versus the Chiefs, week 13 bye week, week 14 home versus the Raiders, week 15, home versus the Vikings, week 15 home versus the Chargers, week 16 at the Chiefs, week 17 at the Colts, and week 18 home versus the Broncos.
can I say one thing, man?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Garoppolo is a good fit for Adams. I feel like Garoppolo is a game manager, almost like an Alex Smith kind of guy. And Adams need that big arm type of
Yeah,
quarterback, like an A Rod or Pat Mahomes, something like he needs one of those type of guys. So I don't know how it's going to play out, man. But and I'm not sure who their second string quarterback is because sometimes Garoppolo can get
he gets
he's always
hurt.
getting injured. So yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
So yeah,
their head coach is Josh McDaniels. I don't even know why he was even nominated to be a coach again. I definitely have him under the 7.5. I can possibly see them. Um, I can really, Devontae Adams is going to win them some games. We can't forget that they traded away Waller as well. They picked up
yeah,
OJ Howard, ex-Buck. Um, I got them
I agree with you.
under the 7 and possibly winning like 4 games.
I agree with you on that one.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and move on to the last team in our. Oh, give me a second. Let's go ahead and move to our last team. We're talking about the Denver Broncos. Last year, their offense, they had a terrible year. This is one of them years that no one expected that Russell Wilson to actually look that bad. Um, they kicked out their old coach, and now they got Sean Payton, which I think things are completely going to change. Russell Wilson, I believe he will bounce back. Javonte Williams, like I know he tore his ACL last year. Is still, um, we don't know what is actually going to be happening with him. Is he going to be there by week 1? They got what is his name? He used to play for the Bengals. Uh, Samaji,
Samaj
yeah,
Piran.
yeah, yeah. They got him. Could possibly be their starting run back, and their wide receiver group is not even spoken about. I feel like they are deep as well. The defense is so underrated. The defense last year was ranked number 7. What is your thoughts on this Denver Broncos?
I agree with you on that defense, man. That defense is definitely they not talked about enough. Nice, good secondary there. Um, Now that they got Frank Clark, they should be able to rush a little bit more. Broncos, I, I don't know, man. It's just one of those teams where it's like they I don't know because I don't. Did you see that one primetime game was Broncos versus Colts? No one scored a
Yeah,
touchdown, bro.
yeah, yeah. No, I mean, I was living in Kenya, so I had already was asleep. But when I woke up the next day, normally I rewatch those games, Monday night, Thursday night games on like the following night. That was not a game I was willing to watch. I would rather watch paint dry,
No one scored a touchdown.
highlights
So
for
I don't
ass.
know. Broncos. I don't know, man. I think they got to bounce back as well too. So I think the defense is going to help them. Wait, what's the line on that one
So,
for
all right. So
Ravens?
right now they are at 8.5, but let me read their schedule. Week 1, home versus the Raiders. Week 2, home versus the Commanders. Week 3, at the Dolphins. Week 4, at the Bears. Week 5, home versus the Jets. Week 6, at KC. Week 7, at in the home versus Green Bay. Week 8, um, home versus the Chiefs. Week 9, we have a bye week. Week 10, we have the Bills. Week 11, we have the Vikings. Week 12, home versus the Bears. Week 13, at the Texans. Week 14, at the Chargers. Week 15, at the Lions. Week 16, home versus the Patriots. Week 17, home versus the Chargers. Week 18, at at the Las Vegas Raiders.
I like the over
Yeah,
8.5. Yeah.
I I would agree. I would agree. I feel like this is one of them seasons. I mean, I feel like Russell Wilson for sure is going to bounce back, but if the Chargers were to actually not do good as I think they're not, I feel like the Broncos are going to sneak their way up second into that division and could possibly win maybe 10 games. No more than 10 games.
I think they can win 10, honestly. We got to shout out Sean Payton, man. He definitely has a nice resume there. He won a lot with the Saints,
Hmm.
and I think they can win 10. So
Okay.
yeah, the Broncos they just need to get that chemistry up, man, with the receivers and Russell because it was not there last season
Mm-mm.
at all.
At all. The whole offense.
Yeah,
At all.
it was bad.
At all. So yeah, man, we have damn near wrapped up everything. Um, Before we go, two things, two questions. I mean, I think I already know the answer for this. Who is winning this division?
The Chiefs is winning this division, no doubt
Okay,
about it.
okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. I guess we both are going to agree on that one. And then also, we are going into our section called Young Black Entrepreneurs. This right here gives you the platform to say what you got going on, so that way people can know more about you as far as what you do outside of this podcast. I'm gonna give the floor to you. There you go.
Appreciate it, Dan. Again, still do photography, do videography. I just finished up a wedding, very beautiful wedding for a young couple in Prince George's County. Um, Outside of that, man, it's just That's about it. I'm just a father taking care of my two daughters. Got a 3-year-old and a 2-year-old. Watching them grow, working from home. So it's a beautiful thing. And yeah, that's about it. Yep.
I'd like to thank you for coming on the podcast for myself and my co-host Tebow, who isn't here right now. Sports State of Mind, episode 108, AFC West edition. And we are out.